All right, good evening. Thank you, viewers. It's a pleasure to have you join us tonight on People's Parliament. Here we dissect socio-political issues as they rub on the Nigerian populace. We are more interested in having a country that attends to the social issues, security issues that are bordering on the lives of the generality of the Nigerian people. So tonight we'll be looking at a commentary on a pragmatic opposition ahead of 2027. Number two, we'll be looking at Lamurde Women massacred. You understand, on the 8th of December 2025, 9 women were shot dead by the Nigerian military. Of course, a soldier was accused, allegedly, for pulling a trigger on innocent women that came out to protest the massive Fulani invasion of their land. And the Nigerian military just pulled a trigger and shot 9 women straight dead. Over 40 were hospitalized, receiving receiving treatments from various degrees of injuries relating to bullet wounds. That's the reality we are getting from Adamawa State. Of course, we have another incident, of course, a recurring incident. Over 600,000 women, children, adults, widowers, all encircled in IDPs across Benue State. You understand, Benue State has been facing a rigorous cycle of genocide, militia attacks, FEMA header slashes, whichever nomenclature you want to give it, there is no peace in Benue State, and the local communities are under constant attacks from Fulani herdsmen. This has led to a lot of the local people abandoning their community and settling down in IDP camps. That has not even rescued them from any reprisal attack. Of course, we still record a high number of attacks by these Fulani herdsmen who also follow them, pursue them down to these IDP camps spread across the states. You understand, the general welfare of people in this IDP camp is nothing to write home about. We'll be looking into details of all this as we proceed in tonight's meeting of People's Parliament. Also, item number 3, Peter Obi, the distinguished Nigerian politician without scandal. The most credible alternative for ADC Coalition if they intend to make any meaningful outing from 2027. Of course, number 5, we have while West African countries have forced France out of their region, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is caught in the midst of handing over Nigerian taxpayers' data to France firm who intends to use AI to generate tax profile for all Nigerian taxpayers. This is sick, that a sovereign nation will hand over her data as sensitive as tax to another country, in this instance, France. What is France looking for in Africa? Why can't France allow African countries to enjoy their growth, enjoy their stability, and carry on with life? Why is France particularly interested in Nigeria? Why? At this point, we went to Burkina Faso, France, and all other African countries, Mali, they've all distanced themselves from France. Why is Tinubu now taking Nigeria to France? First and foremost, we were not colonized by France. Why? What's the relationship? So Nigerians are suspicious, and this amounts to public outcry that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is gradually leading Nigeria into the hands of France for second level of colonization. On this note, I welcome you to People's Parliament. I remain your host, Mr. Arko Christian Hotel. I have with me in the studio Mr. Ola, the passionate Nigerian who has joined to be part of this program, as well as others who are joining us on Zoom. You're welcome to People's Parliament. I'll be taking a commentary for 2027. 2027, of course, the atmosphere is already charged, and Nigerians are beginning to permutate what will happen ahead of 2027. So for any political party to withstand and put up a very credible fight against Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that candidate must be a person of high integrity. You must have integrity. If there is no integrity, there is no way you can withstand Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because even if it is a week to the general election, the EFCC can still pick you up on grounds of one corruption allegation or the other. So number two, the candidate must have electoral records, ability to be able to defeat Tinubu in a stronghold. If any candidate have not been able to defeat Tinubu in a stronghold, like we had in 2023, Mr. Peter B, of course, was able to defeat Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his own backyard, in a state that he claimed to abuse, which is Lagos State. So if we don't have that caliber of candidate emerging from the ADC coalition, then of course there's a problem ahead of 2027 for that opposition coalition. Money politics, yes, money politics is very critical for Nigerian politics. The person of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, for instance, of course, all he can boast of is ability to spend. But I don't see him outspending Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for instance. There is no way. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while he was not even in Villa yet, he had access to spend. As a matter of fact, Bullion Van visited the residence of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the wake up of the 2023 general election. So with that incident, as well as now that he is in charge of power, how do you expect Atiku to be able to muzzle him out with money politics? So that will not work ahead of 2027. Again, it bounces back to having a credible candidate that have cult followership of the masses, which leads us to item number 4. Atiku doesn't command that national cult followership of voluntary followers. So he cannot put up any meaningful fight against Tinubu, who has all the financial muscle to do and undo. So zoning formula, Atiku must respect the fact that Nigeria has this unwritten law of zoning. The zone favors southern Nigeria to produce the presidency. So it respected that all political platform, all political parties are able to zone their candidacy to the southern Nigeria, so that we can have a beach-free party activities going into 2027. Youth aspiration. Yes, youth are interested in somebody that resonates with their plight, that resonates with their ideology, that believes in their vision, that believes in their ability and capability, that thinks about them, plans for them, and talks about their plans, their aspiration. So any old guard that have often been in the circle of power around the top notch of political activities in Nigeria, you don't expect the nod of the youth from 2027. Governors' defection. Of course, Atiku Abubakar has rolled on the influence of governors in the past. Now that they have all defected to the APC, where is the stronghold? So these are reasons, these are obvious realities, questions that we all need to ask ourselves. And number 9, POLIPO can pull over 10 million votes without any governor stealing the vote. And that cannot be said with any other contestant, with all due respect. So these are obvious reality of issues ahead of 2027. The above may sound too harsh, but those are the silent thoughts of Nigerians as we look forward to 2027. ADC winning or losing is in their hands. So the choice is theirs to make. I'll be here to ask our market at the end of the day. So without further ado, I will be going straight to the parliamentary engagement where we already have Mr. Ola in the studio. Mr. Ola, you are welcome to People's Parliament. Mr. Ola, you are available to speak now. Okay, while we await Mr. Ola, anytime we have any other person in the Zoom can, if you want to have your conversation in this line of tonight's program, feel free to unmute and speak. Because it's called People's Parliament for a purpose. We give out, we give audience the opportunity to have their contribution to these national issues, burning issues of that. Lamurde Women, the issue of extrajudicial killing that occurred, the massacre of 9 women, and of course, over 40 hospitalized on grounds of gunshots by a soldier who felt there should be no protest at all. You know, this mentality of over-militarization of the civil space is really causing problem. What's the essence of having military all over the country when they should be busy performing their civic responsibility against the terrorists that are aiming to take over the country? So this is a question we need to ask. Why should there be overzealous, trigger-happy soldier in civilian space, which has led to the death of 9 innocent women, whose crime is that they only came out to protest with the expectation that they will return back to their family at the end of the day. Only their dead bodies will be found. This is unfortunate. It's the rascality of the highest order, and this is a war crime. We call on the military to take decisive action and ensure that the soldier who performed this dastard act is meant to face court-martial, and anyone who participated in granting the order should also face court-martial. That is how it should be, because we cannot continue to have trigger-happy security personnel killing our women, killing our youths in their prime. Mr. Ola, are you available to have your contribution on this subject matter? Or any other speaker that is available with us tonight? Feel free to unmute. This is a public participatory program where we have a joint discussion on what is happening across the country. 600,000 children, women, and adults who have been rendered hopeless in IDP camp in Benue State for the past 13 years. Yet the governor is there denying that there is no Christian genocide. Why should there be over 600,000 of your indigenous in IDP camp? Why the Fulanis are there grazing on the ancestral land that they were chased out of, taking over the land? If it's not genocide, then what it is? Whatever inclination you want to give it, security is a fundamental responsibility of any sane government. And if any government is found to be wanting in granting security of lives and property, then that government is not meant to be in the first instance. So we hereby call for the international community, indeed the United States of America and President Trump, to place hastening up their intervention to be able to end this all forms of genocide, criminality, terrorism that is ravaging Nigeria and indeed the African continent. We look forward to a change of policy in this regard. To pressure the Nigerian government to put our house in order, because currently we do not even have the National Assembly. If we have the National Assembly by now, this whole shenanigans should not be taking place. But lack of legislative oversight, lack of legislative responsibility, performing their tasks as legislators have led us to this decay where the executive rascality has not been put to check. They've continued to manifest a lot of complicity. They will not be able to carry out their dutiful assignments of provision of security for the lives and properties of Nigeria. So they are very good in providing intervention for the Republic, but not for the people of Nigeria. I see no reason why a country with over 600,000 IDPs in one state alone, which is Benue State, would pick up a fight with the Republic for overthrowing a civilian reign of over 10 years. Whereas your people, which are your primary assignment, are living in IDP as their newfound home for the past 30 years. It's a slap and misplacement of priority. That we have a government that prioritizes the welfare of Beninese ahead of that of Nigerians. And we cannot continue in this blind followership. That is the reason why 2027 is very strategic, and opposition figures are advised to put their house in order and ensure that we have a formidable front, a formidable opposition whose legs are on the ground and whose foots are moving and taking the step forward towards achieving a realistic result ahead of 2027. So we cannot continue to sit back, continue with this gentleman approach going into 2027. There has to be change of plans, change of approaches, and mass mobilization against this illegal government. This government has been a pain on the skin of Nigerians, and we cannot afford to continue to tolerate the shenanigans of Bola Tinubu-led administration. How can you hand over Nigerian database to France? When was the last time France database was handed over to Nigeria to manage? Why should Nigeria do that? Of all the tech gurus we have across Nigeria, so it now takes France to manage our tax system. This is a call on all well-meaning Nigerians, both old and young, women, children, adults, everyone in Nigeria and beyond to get ready to mobilize against this illicit, illegal, and demonic tax regime of President Bola Tinubu, who is planning, of course, to sink Nigeria into debt with all his enormous wasteful lifestyle that have not added value to the Nigerian economy. The other day, there was an incident where Professor Wole Soyinka lamented against the enormous number of security details that are following the son of the president, making comparison with previous administration where the children of the president are unknown to the public. Of course, this is a man that he has always advocated for. It's becoming clearer to him after list of ambassadorial and ministerial lists was submitted to the National Assembly and he wasn't part of the nominees. He's now beginning to have problem with the lifestyle of Sheikh Tinubu. So he should stop pretending to Nigerians. He has not been able to stand his ground, ensuring that the right things are done from the word go. You don't expect a man that came to power by stealing ballot boxes, a man that came to power by suppressing the will of the people, to of course stand for the will of the people or anything that represents legality. He won't be interested. So, Professor Wole Soyinka should learn to deal with that and see it as a new norm that has to accommodate. So he should not come to the public and start seeking public sympathy. That sympathy is not there because he is part of the status quo that has been supporting this illegal government from beginning until this moment. So do we have contribution on the subject matter before we wrap it up tonight's program? Do we have commentary from our viewers, those who are joining us on Zoom tonight on this program? All right, at this point, we have done justice for tonight's topic on the People's Parliament. Until we come your way next week, Monday, do have a pleasant evening, and God bless you. Meanwhile, ensure that you subscribe to Cobden Media TV. We got you covered in socio-political issues as they affect the Nigerian people. Here we say it as it is. We don't sugarcoat it. We don't fear the government. It's a call that we have decided to take, no matter how risky, no matter the clampdown on media space. We continue to report it as it is right from the grassroots. Thank you, and do have a pleasant evening. Subscribe to the Cobden Media TV and have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.